Good afternoon and welcome to the fabulous Inanda Club in the heart of Johannesburg for the annual Cell C Inanda Africa Cup on a beautiful day. In fact, it's going to be about 31 degrees. It feels a bit warmer than that. Humidity low. This is Johannesburg. We don't bother too much about the humidity. And there is a slight breeze as well, which I think is going to take the heat out of things for the players and the horses. Good afternoon from me, David O'Sullivan. What a lovely day this is. And even though we are in the middle of a COVID pandemic, we have a smattering of invited guests, very strict protocols that are being enforced. And standing alongside me, Craig James, who is the polo manager here at Inanda Club. And Craig, I've got to say, first of all, to you guys at Inanda and to Cell C, well done on ensuring that we do have a Cell C Inanda Africa Cup in these unusual circumstances.
Oh, David, thanks for being with us today. We are really honoured to be hosting the Cell C Inanda Africa Cup this year. Under the circumstances, I mean, everything has been so trying, so difficult, and we are grateful for Cell C who've stuck with us as partners. This is their third year that they've partnered with us, and we are just very, very grateful for them.
And it's about the 20th edition of the Inanda Africa Cup, held differently. So how have you been able to protect riders, protect horses? What have you had to do differently to ensure that despite the pandemic, we can have a competition?
Yeah, it's a little bit different now. Traditionally, we've always seen teams travel from Africa. We normally have representation from Ghana, Nigeria, Uganda, as far as Egypt. This year, and with restrictions, obviously it's been tricky. What we decided to do this year was to make development polo our focus. Obviously, this is something very close to Inanda's heart, as well as our sponsor, CELC. We have chosen 2 teams, 8 players, made up of development players from all over South Africa.
Tell us about the riders then. You call them development players, but I would imagine that what we're looking here is the talent of the future.
Absolutely, the talent of the future. These development players are typically guys working in the industry, looking after various employers' horses, schooling them, maintaining them, preparing them for tournaments. And employers have given these guys the opportunity to start playing. This is newfound talent that's been behind the scenes and actually kept the sport alive for so long. We've got, as I say, players from all over South Africa, different clubs, different provinces. I think if we can talk about 2 of them, our 2 team captains. Zumpi Totetsi hails from the Free State. He's our resident coach here at the Inanda school at Inanda. Lovely, lovely man. He started polo about 12 years ago, and he started as a groom working in the stables and looking after horses. And he's now a 2-goal player and has represented South Africa a couple of times. Denono Latula also hails from the Free State, but bases himself out there. Keen horseman, makes beautiful horses. He works for a family that it's their business called Bro Polo. They sell horses all over South Africa and out the country. And it's just a really talented young man. And we're really looking forward to seeing them perform today.
And so the other players that you've got, are they all youngsters who've come through, starting possibly as groomsmen, looking at horses from afar before they get the opportunity?
Yes, all of them are all hailed or started as groomsmen. This is how they've started being involved with polo. And yeah, I mean, you could go on and talk about these guys for days of how amazing they are. Just going to be amazing talent out there today.
The field is looking amazing as well, beautifully green. We had some very good rains, welcome rains, because we had a lot of, well, we came through quite a hot season with no rain. It's looking good out there.
It is looking good. Again, you know, luckily the timing of the rain a few weeks ago was fantastic, and it's greened everything up. It's going to make the playing surface nice and fast. We should see quite a bit of action. And, you know, the ponies also enjoy a field that's not too hard. And we've come out of that dry, very hard winter period. And this greener field, I think, is going to allow for some really fun polo.
Okay, well, I think it's time for us to get to the action then. And to find out more about the players, the horses as well, no better man to take us through who we're about to see in action than our commentator. It's over to Matt Pole.
Thank you, Dave. Ladies and gentlemen, and to those of us that are streaming in live, what a warm day and what a welcome we've received from everybody here. The players and ponies are in preparation for the exhibition match that is about to take place here, the CELC Inanda Africa Cup 2020. And I think we're in for a thrilling match here. The weather's playing its part, the ground is in good condition, and the players are certainly ready and up for it. The 2 teams that will be competing today are teams that have been hand selected and have come through some grueling processes in terms of getting ready for the action. The players and ponies are getting ready on the far side of the field. You'll notice that each of the players have come to the ground with no less than 5 or 6 horses each. The 2 umpires that will be taking us through today's match will be umpire Rory Twort and Crispin Cheadle. So we're really in for quite a treat here today. And then a very special mention to our Africa friends who traditionally are down here playing in the Africa Cup from Zambia, Zimbabwe, Kenya, as far as Ghana. We know you guys are all watching us live streaming through here. And I think a nice break in play for us here at the CELC Africa Cup. So I think the 2 teams that will be taking part today, quite representative of polo in South Africa at this point, and very exciting to see this new breed of polo player coming through. Jabulani Magakula playing in the number 1 position for the CELC Orange team. Really a player to keep your eye on, ladies and gentlemen. Jabulani, a fast and furious player, really well mounted, and someone to keep the bay ponies running quickly and really well on this ground here. In the number 2 position, Nati Chabalala. Nati we know from playing in Johannesburg, really quite a good player and someone with great stick work. Joe Cello, -1 player. He's in the number 3 position. Also really great horseman and a person of real good interest for the South African Polo Association. Keep an eye on him for the future. Donono is a player who's played for South Africa a number of times. He's got a 2-goal rating and is taking up the captain's role here for the Cell C Orange side in this 2020 Cell C Africa Cup final. Coming to us for the Cell C white side, we have a number of really fabulous players. Particularly to keep your eye on is Zompi Tsotsetsi, playing with 2 goals. He too has represented South Africa really fantastically and plays well at the back. He's a really strong carrier of the ball and a great horseman. Bafana Skosana in the number 3 position, based here at the Inanda Club. And again, really interesting to watch these young players come through the ranks, having been on the sidelines and in practice matches. Now's a chance for them to really show their wares here at the Cell C Inanda Africa Cup. Tokozani Zondo in the number 2 position, a fiery young player, really well mounted here today at the Cell C Cup, and I think he'll prove to be quite a good competition for his opposition number, Joe Cello, in the Cell C Orange side. Butlatsi Tsakatsi, or Lala we call him, is another guy to keep your eye on. He's played professionally here at the Inanda Club and assists with a number of the players and ponies right throughout the year. So these are the 2 teams that will be taking us through the match here today. I think it's quite a testament to the Inanda Club and the schooling of the polo ponies that will be on show here for us today. So without any further ado, we'll be now waiting for the players and ponies who are mounting up on the far side of the field to start to gather their thoughts. As the umpires, I notice Rory Twort and Crispin Cheadle are hailing the players onto the field. You'll notice that a couple of the players here are warming up. Zompi Tsotsetsi there on the far side of the field, just getting his ponies ready and making sure that he's mentally prepared for the 4-chukker match. We'll remind you that the Cell C Africa Cup this year is a 4-chukker affair. We'll be playing 4 7-minute chukkers, and again, for those of you that are streaming in for the first time, a chukker is 7.5 minutes worth of polo, whereafter there'll be a break and some interviews, and we'll then move into the 2nd, 3rd and 4th chukker. On the screen at the moment is that fabulous player Zumpi, having come through polo school down in the Free State, and really a talent that South Africa will be watching and guarding closely as we move into the international season coming up. Plettenberg Bay is where a lot of these players will go and get their high goal experience coming up in December, and quite exciting for us to have them on board with us. Right, so the umpires, Crispin Cheadle on the field here. Christian, a vastly experienced umpire, having umpired and played professionally for many years. And I think no better person we would want to have the team and the players guarded by than Crispin Cheadle and Rory Twort. Both very experienced umpires. 3rd man will be Craig James up here in the commentary box. The umpires have quite a tough job to do out here. The ground, although it's in magnificent condition given the circumstances and the heat that we've been experiencing in Joburg, the ball is bound to be popping around slightly, which would make it slightly difficult for the umpires just to keep an eye on the line of the ball. Remind everybody that the rules of the game are geared solely around the safety of player and pony. The welfare of the ponies are of paramount importance, as are in all equestrian disciplines, but particularly here in polo, as the chukkers last for 7.5 minutes and the ponies really do give their all for that period in time. You'll notice that on the far side of the field there, in that shot there, you see all the ponies lined up in their magnificent orange bandages, saddle blankets. Right, so the 2 teams are now preparing to come on. We'll do a full introduction to the teams as they make their way onto the field. You'll notice also that all the players are holding their mallets in their right hands. One of the many strange rules around polo is that you may only play the game right-handed, and the reason for that is that there are some rules in the game that dictate a line of a ball, and if two players are holding their sticks in a left and right hand and they meet on a line, they could have some dangerous consequences. So only right-handed players. The sticks are around about 52 inches in length, and we still use all the old traditional measurements here in polo. We talk about yards, we talk about inches, and the players now are getting ready at the bottom side of the field here to come on today. Obviously quite a momentous occasion here, not only for a lot of these young players, but also for Cell C to have this representation here in the heart of Sandton. And what a magnificent event that we have been able to put on here at the Cell C Inanda Africa Cup 2020. Right, so as the players and ponies will start to make their way onto the field, the umpires and goal judges are ready. I remind you, this will be a 4-chukker match. The goalposts that you notice in the background, they are 8 yards apart, and the playing surface of a polo field is in the region of 12 acres playing surface. So quite a large playing surface that the players have, and hence the reason for the number of horses. Each horse will only play 1 chukker, and thereby each player will have 4 or 5 horses, fully trained ponies at the ground. Out of interest sake, it takes around about 5 or 6 years to train a polo pony to be playing at this level. Craig James, the Inanda polo manager, just running through a couple of the last minute processes, and what a magnificent opportunity we have here today for these players to come and show their wares and show what they've learned. Right, so the players will gradually walk onto the field. Umpire Rory Tort, having played in the US for many years of his life, based here in South Africa now, also a player who's represented South Africa, and a wonderful man to have in charge of the match here today. You'll notice there are 4 players on each team. We were encouraged to see the youngsters coming through in the previous match. There was a curtain raiser. So in their positional play, traditionally speaking, if you follow rugby, the number 1 would be in the position of the wing. Traditionally, the goal scorer would be the number 1. The number 2 and 3 are more like the flanks and 8th men. They're in the engine room and doing all the hard work. And at the back, you'll normally have the fullback, who plays with the number 4 on his back. And those make up the positional plays for those of you that are tuning into us here for the first time today. Right, so as the ponies and players will line up, we'll be doing an introduction of each and every one of the players, as well as the umpires. And the first 2 players that will be introduced to you will be the number 1s, who again are vastly different players, but players worth keeping your eye on. So if we'll have a flyby here by the 2 number 1s, Jabulani Magakula and Lala Tatiti. Let's have a ride round by those players as they come forward. The number 1s, if they can ride out for us here now. Right, let's have a round of applause for the 2 number 1s as they make their way through. Nati Chabalala and Bafana Skusana. If we can have those 2 coming out, let's have a ride out by those 2. Joe Selo and Tokozani Zondo. And at the back there, Zompi Totsetsi and Donala Lutula. Those make up the players. And then the 2 umpires, ladies and gentlemen, Rory Twort and Crispin Cheadle. Those make up the 2 umpires for the 2020 Cell C. Players and ponies are ready. And we are now in preparation of the 2020 Cell C Africa Cup final. Again, a very, very warm welcome to all of those of you that are streaming into us here from around the world. What a magnificent day you're missing here in Johannesburg. Right, so the two umpires will line the players up. You'll notice that the Chelsea white side are running up from the left-hand side. That's the siren to start the beginning of the match, and straight out the back goes Zombie. He's over the top, picked up now by Lala. Lala turns the ball on the near side, now picked up beautifully there by the Chelsea orange side in the form of Joe Sello. Joe Sello's working forward now. Here go the players down the ground now. Lala, he's looking up for an open backhand. That cuts the ball out beautifully out the front side here now. On the near side, Chelsea white called off by Zumpi. Zumpi's over the top, picked up now beautifully by Chavalala. Chavalala can't get in, but it's going to be Jabulani now down the ground. Here goes Zompi Totsetsi. Zompi on the ball now, backhand played. Chelsea Orange find themselves defending here in the 30-yard mark. Picking up the play there now, it's going to be Tokozani Zondo. Zondo looking up the play there. Has he got the angle on the ball down towards the post? And through the center it goes. And Zompi Totsetsi, Tokozani Zondo finishing off the goal there for Chelsea White. And the players and ponies will canter back to the center. What a magnificent goal there by the team playing in white colours. The players and ponies will come back to the center. The teams will now change ends. Another one of the traditional rules played right around the world in polo, that if a goal is scored, the teams will change ends. Into the back of the lineup there goes, and it's picked up now beautifully by Chavalala. Chavalala now finds the backhand, picked up now beautifully, turning on it, it's going to be Tokozani Zondo. Zondo down the ground, pushing through on the play there was going to be Bafana. Bafana Skosana. Bafana now turning on the play, it's going to be Zompi. Zompi now turning that ball beautifully, he's got possession. In the defensive play there now, Chelsea find themselves back in a defensive play, Chelsea Orange that is. Tokozane turning it, Bafana now looking for a bit of play. Here goes Bafana. He takes a backhand, looking on the ball there now. Looks as if the umpires may have spotted an infringement right in front of the goal mouth on the far side of the field. Right, so umpire Crispin Cheadle and Rory Todd having picked up an infringement. And it'll be an opportunity now for Chelsea Orange running from our left to right to bring the ball into play with their noses slightly behind here. Ball played forward, intercepted there, picked up now beautifully by Chelsea Orange, pushing forward down in the blue helmet there now is Donald. Down the ground, who's got possession now? Chelsea White find themselves defending. Ball squirts up. Zombi's got possession now, pushing forward on the play is going to be Molatsi. Molatsi now, he's got possession and a bit of a ruck and a maul in the middle of the field there. Coming away with it now is that man Zombi, who's represented South Africa on a number of occasions. Turning on the play there now towards the 60-yard mark. It's a big ruck and a maul. Down on the far side there, it's going to be Bafana Skosana. Bafana Skosana learnt his polo out in Nooit Gedacht Mulderdrift. Right, down the field they go. Here comes Zompi. Zompi now, he likes a bit of speed. He's put the ball forward, but looks like it's popped over the boards and out of play. And we'll have a line out on the far side of the field. So very much like in rugby when the ball goes over the boards. Right, so the ball is brought in quickly there by Lala. In the second position there now, pushing forward on the play is going to be picked up by Donolo. Nati Chabalala is also working hard for it. Down the ground they come, intercepted there by Zompi. Defensive play there by Donolo, picked it up now there. Pony turns beautifully down the ground, now comes Zompi. Zompi, tappity tap, has he got possession now? Backhand played by Chelsea Orange. Through on the play now comes Molatsi. Molatsi left the ball behind and pushing hard down the ground, there comes Chelsea White. Chelsea White now. Looks like it's all getting a bit scrappy out there as the players now just jostling for a bit of position as the ball pops back over the boards and out of play. And yeah, one or two of the players now just jostling for a bit of position. Right, so when a ball hits out of the field of play, the team that was defending the position gets to bring the ball into play. Turning on the far side of the field now, it's coming through and it's picked up beautifully there by Jabulani Magakula. Jabulani now with a lovely strike on the grey pony. Jabulani, he's over the top. Who's next in play there? It's a turning play there by Chelsea White. Turning on, it's Tokozani Zondo, now up to Bafana, but it's Zondo pushing forward. Through comes Zompi. Score remains 1-0 here in the halfway mark of chukker number 1. Remind you, 4 chukkers to be played. Zompi towards the goals. Through the centre for a score. And there we have it, the second score for the Chelsea White team. And looks as if there'll be a slight break in play as Zompi dismounted on the far side of the goal post. Possibly a slight wet patch from the irrigating last night. Right, so the time will be held whilst the players and ponies come back to the centre. So fabulous pressure played there by the Chelsea white side. The boys in orange need to get a bit of possession from the line out here with the time ticking down at 4.5 minutes of chukker number 1 complete. Right, so the umpires are ready to go. Zompi needs to get back on the field. Umpires and players are pushing forward. 2.5 minutes left to play here in this, the opening chukker, and the score remains 2 goals to Chelsea white. And Chelsea orange are yet to open up their account. Right, ball back into play. Down the back line, who's picked up the play there now? It's picked up by Donolo. Donolo for Chelsea orange. They're now looking for a bit of possession. And straight away, it's a break up down the field there by Bafana Skosana. Joe Cello also looking for some possession, but the umpires have spotted an infringement in play. And a chance here now for Chelsea orange to open up their account. A penalty has been awarded in favour of the boys in orange. And this will be a 60-yard defended shot at goal, so a chance for Captain Donolo Letula to tee up the ball and give his team the best chance of opening up their score here with the time sitting at 4.5 minutes down here in chukker number 1. Remind you, 7 minutes to be played per chukker. Right, so ball's teed up on the 60-yard mark. You'll notice that the defending players are defending the goal mouth. So the defending players may stand 30 yards from the ball. Right, and I think it's going to be Nati Chavalala to bring this ball into play. Lovely clean strike of the ball there by Nati, but he's pushed it wide to the right-hand side. So an opportunity here now for Chelsea white to bring the ball into play. No doubt Zompi Totsetsi, having done this many times before, will rally his troops. And the umpires have placed the ball down on the line. And Zompi brings the ball into play. Following close behind Zompi is Bafana Skosana. Zompi placed the ball out towards Bafana. Here's Bafana with the yellow helmet on, riding a lovely chestnut pony. Bafana strikes a good clean strike at the ball, gets the pony moving forward, pushing down the ground. There now comes Chelsea orange in defensive play. Turning on the play there, beautiful play there by Donolo Letolo, 2-goal play. He's got possession. Donolo from the Free State now looks for the shot towards the goals. He's on the 60-yard mark now. Defensive play here by Chelsea white. Ball turns beautifully. Who's on the play there now? It's going to be picked up beautifully by Chelsea white. Still possession is Mulatsi. Mulatsi now down the ground. Here goes Mulatsi. He's pushing hard. Mulatsi now opens up his shoulders. Backhand played there now. Coming through on the play on the near side. Mulatsi. The two number wonders clash. Jabulani Mulatsi. Coming through now to settle things down is going to be Joe Cello. Joe Cello the backhand out towards Donono. Donono now takes the ball forward. Here goes Lala. Well, checking out the play. The ball's popped over the boards now to play. So the Chelsea white team will receive a hit-in from where the ball went out, and an opportunity for them to keep the pressure on the defender's goal mouth. And Chelsea orange still looking to open up the count. Score remains 2 goals to 0 with about a minute left to play here in this, the opening chukker of the 2020 Chelsea Inanda Africa Cup. Coming through comes Zompi Totsetsi. Zompi down the ground now, 30 yards out. Now the shot towards the goal, tries to control it, doesn't get everything on it. Coming into defensive play there now comes Chelsea orange. Ball bounces badly, but it's picked up now by Donolo on a breakaway. Donolo now opens up the taps of the Bay Pony, and Donolo is pushing hard down the ground. He's been hard pressed there by Skosana. Skosana, Donolo now takes the ball forward, pushing down the ground. There comes Chelsea orange. Swooping onto that line there was Molatsi. Who's got possession now? The Chelsea orange boys are deeply in the heart of the Chelsea White territory now, looking for possession. Down the ground there now comes Donolo. Donolo now, he's got possession, checks up the pony, tries to keep control. It's all got a bit messy, and through comes Zombie. Zombie now, he's over the top. Donolo still in possession. Chelsea Orange pushing hard, looking for the goal. Not a lot of time left here as we move into the closing stages of Chukka number 1. Skosana, he saves the day and puts the lovely shot down the ground. Backhand played. Who's turning on the ball there now? It's going to be picked up by Donolo. Donolo, a chance to open up the account for the Orange chaps. Here goes Donolo. Donolo down towards the goals. Difficult shot towards the post. The ball runs over the goal line, and that will sound the end of Chukka number 1, ladies and gentlemen. So at the end of the Chukka, fabulous run in there by Chelsea Orange. Unable to convert it into points, and the score remains 2 goals to Chelsea White and 0 goals to Chelsea Orange.
So we leave the house at 7:15 by 7:20.
On the Selfie app or dial star 147 hash. Change your summer. Change your world with Selfie.
So 2 goals so far, and a very exciting play. It's my first time actually watching polo live, and I'm amazed at the speed of things compared to watching it on TV. I've got Inanda Club Chairman Nigel Pilling alongside me, a man who plays himself. And what are those conditions like out there, Nigel?
Well, certainly very hot today, you know, with summer upon us and the rain not arrived yet, so it's a bit uncomfortable, but there's a hell of a draft caused by that speed of movement, so they're comfortable until they're finished.
Yeah, and a bit of a breeze as well, which I'd imagine helps things as well. What about the condition of the field itself?
Well, obviously it's the end of a long winter and we haven't had the rain that we expect to get in October yet, so the field's not in the best of conditions, but is doing very well in the circumstances.
I was told that normally the spectators come and they stamp down the...
At half-time, it's a tradition in polo worldwide, you know, to get out there, get them involved, close the divots where the ball would get a bad bounce and that sort of thing. But it's very traditional to stomp the field at half-time.
Divots, that was the word I was looking for. I wasn't quite sure of the technical term in polo. You've managed to host the event. I think credit to Inanda Club and to Chelsea as well for ensuring that the Africa Cup does continue. But I'd imagine there were times when you were wondering, given the COVID pandemic, whether you would be able to do this.
Yes, I mean, it's been a marvellous feat by our management team headed by Paul, who stays in, and ably supported by Craig and Pauline, and with such a small management team in place at the moment, it's to do this behind closed doors is a great achievement to them, and they've got the full support of the committee.
Okay, well done to you guys at Inanda. Thanks so much, Nigel.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nigel Pilling, who's the chairman of the Inanda Club. We've got some invited guests here as well. A lot of social distancing and safety protocols all in action, but they're about to look forward to the second Chukka. Let's go back to our commentator, Matt Poll.
Thank you, Dave. Right, ladies and gentlemen, so Chukka number 2 is about to start. The players and ponies are on the ground and ready to start. Just a quick recap of Chukka number 1. The Chelsea White team ran out the blocks early, scoring 2 quick goals. One of the goal posts have blown down as we have a gust of wind come through here in the Highveld. It looks as if we had one of the players just wanting to make sure that the ponies are ready for chukker number 2. And the umpires are now ready. Right, so chukker number 2 about to start. Again, a quick recap of the match. Chukker number 1, Chelsea White certainly running out winners out of that chukker. Skosana now brings the ball off the back line now, and it's going to be Chelsea Orange now finding themselves defending down the ground. Skosana now comes through to try and pick up the ball. He's left it behind, turning on the play there now. It's going to be Chelsea Orange, a beautiful backhand play there now by Donolo Lutula. Finds that he's got a good runner up the front there now. It's going to be Joe Cello down the ground. Joe's left the ball behind. Who's first turning there now? It's Chelsea Orange working for the play. Shot towards the goals there beautifully by Nati Chabalala. Looks like it pops off the play there now, and it's now picked up. Defending play into the Orange team, through the centre for the score. And what a magnificent comeback there. They couldn't have asked for a better start to chukker number 2 as Chelsea Orange put the goals up on the board, and they are now into the match. Right, so in the first minute of chukker number 2, Chelsea Orange coming through with a magnificent score there. Great breakaway there by Joe Cello with the number 3 on his back, putting the ball right in the right position, and finally finished off there by Jabulani Magakula. Right, so the teams change ends again, and as we move into the line out, umpires just asked the players to open up the line out. Umpire Christian Cheadle there. Ball goes down the centre, picked up now, out the back there. Now it's a stick fight down the middle, picked up beautifully by Bafana Skosana, working hard for Chelsea White. Who's got possession there now? It's in the possession of Tokozani Zondo. Zondo now with a red helmet breakaway down the ground. He's got Nati Chapalala looking for defensive play, but it's going to be picked up now by Tokozani Zondo. Zondo down towards the close, wide to the left-hand side. Great breakaway there by Tokozani Zondo. Burning around the outside of the defending player, but unlucky just not to convert that into points. Right, so score remains 2-1 in favour of the Chelsea White side. Coming off the back line now comes Chelsea Orange. Donolo pushing forward down the ground. Chelsea Orange now take possession. Who's got the ball there now? It's left on the side there for Jabulani Magakula. Jabu's over the top and it's pushing forward nicely by Tokozani Zondo. He has a second chance this time. Oh, it's just wide. Wide again. So a lucky let off there for the Chelsea Orange chaps, as Chelsea White now pushing hard, trying to increase that narrow lead they have at this point in time. Right, so from the play they come. Who's off the line there now? It's Chelsea Orange in the form of Donolo. He's put the ball beautifully up towards Joe Cello. Joe Cello now coming forward. Joe opens up the taps through now. Down the play they come. Who's going to first turn? The ponies turning on a ticky there now. Zompi now gets involved. Zompi on a breakaway. Zompi now and Donolo down the ground. Zompi down towards the players for Chelsea White. Here goes Zompi. Zompi's playing forward. Here goes Zompi down the ground towards the goals. Defensive play there picked up by Skosana. Skosana now. Great defensive play there by Chelsea Orange now in the form of Chabalala. Who's got the play? Turning on it now. It's going to be Nati. Nati Chavalala, Nati still in possession. Skosana comes through. It's all got a bit scrappy down the back there, and a breakaway now here by Chelsea Orange. Here they come now in full force. It's going to be Donolo down the ground. He's wide open. He's been hard pressed there. Donolo down the ground. He's been hard pressed. Big race. It's a horse race. The players and ponies come through. Donolo still got possession. Looking for the near side play there now. The ball sits on the side. Defensive play here by Zumpi. Zumpi turns the ball beautifully. Saves the day there for Chelsea White. Turning on the play there now. It's a big write-off. Who's got possession? It's going to be Joe Cello. Joe takes the play forward. He's got possession. Umpires, game carries on. Taking the play there now. It's going to be Donolo. Turns it beautifully. Who's got possession? Zompi finds himself in a good position now. Zompi down the ground. Zompi still playing. Here comes Zompi now. Chelsea White did well to defend that goal. Zompi leaves the ball behind. Backhand played by Donolo now. Through comes Skosana. Skosana now working hard. Here's Skosana Bafana. Bafana now, he's now moves forward. Zompi in possession on the boards. Here's Zompi. Jabulani now moves off, gives Zompi a shot. Can't touch that ball there, cross the line. Lovely play there by Zombie, getting Celsi White back on attack now. Through goes Zombie. Zombie now moving forward. Through comes Skosana. Skosana now, he takes the ball forward. Skosana down towards the 60-yard mark. Celsi White back on attack. The big defensive play there by Donolo. He's been all over this chucker. Looks as if the umpires have spotted an infringement in play. Penalty has been awarded to Celsi White. And it looks at this point as if the umpires, yes, are in agreement. Umpire Rory Twart confirming with umpire Crispin Cheadle. Penalty number 4 in favour of Celsi White. That'll be a 60-yard defended shot a goal with about 2 minutes left to play here in this, the second chucker. And goodness me, it certainly has heated up here today in the second chucker. Right, so that man in screen right now, Zompi Tsotseti, having a fabulous chucker. Saved a certain goal up front. And a chance here now for Skosana to dig deep. Puts a big shot in. Balls trickles down over the back line and wide. And a sigh of relief is heard by the Celsi orange side. Right, so from the back line now, through comes Celsi orange in the form of Donolo. Lovely shot up the ground here, pushing forward now. The orange boys are running. Who's got possession? Players and ponies are swinging around. Great play there, picked up now by Celsi White. Called off the ball there. Zompi reaches out. He's got possession now. It's going to be Tokozane. Zondo was called off. Zompi now on the play. Here goes Zompi. Zompi down for Celsi White. Celsi White. Zompi's left the ball behind. Backhand played there now. Over the top and through comes Tokozane. Zondo. Tokozane down the ground. Tokozane. Celsi White pushing hard. Can they get the goal they're looking for? Defensive play there by Celsi Orange, but I think the umpire's whistle has sounded yet again. And a sign here that the players and ponies are all getting a little bit nervous when the ball gets close to the goal mouth, and looks as if the Celsi Orange boys may have infringed the line there. And here's an opportunity for Celsi White to increase that lead. And a chance here for Zompi Tsotsesi. This will be a penalty number 2, a 30-yard undefended shot a goal. Quickly taken there by none other than Tokozani Zondo. Zondo making no mistake and putting it through the post for the third score. Celsi White in a commanding position as we get close to the end of chucker number 2 here at this, the 2020 Inanda Africa Cup, proudly brought to you by Celsi. Cracking goal there by Tokozani Zondo. Lots of hard work done by his teammates around him, Molotati and Bafana. Right, so the umpires will put the ball back into the play. A reminder that the teams do change ends after every goal is scored. Umpire Crispin Cheadle and Rory Torch is making sure that the line is open. Ball goes, sits nicely in the middle there. Coming away with it now, it's going to be Celsi Orange in defensive play. Looks as if the umpires spotted an infringement immediately. And a chance here for Celsi White again. So a little bit of ill discipline on the side of Celsi Orange. Penalty from the spot. This will be a penalty in favour of Celsi White. And it will be Tokozana Zondo to bring the ball into play. Right, Tokozani finding a lovely bay mare. Tokozani, oh, he's given a big shot down the ground. Looking good from here. He's launched a huge attack down the ground. Pushing forward is going to be Molati. Molati the shot to the goals. Hoo-ha! Molati making no mistake. Cracking play there by Celsi White. Tokozani with a decent strike of the ball, putting his little number 1 player up in a great attacking position, and he finishes it off beautifully. Tokozani Zondo creating the goal, being finished off beautifully by Molati. Right, so just about a couple of seconds left to play here as Celsi White certainly are stomping their authority all over this match. 4-1 at the end of chucker number 2. Umpires wait for the players and ponies to come back to the centre. That'll sound the end. 30 seconds left to play in. Again, Celsi White now breakaway down the ground there now. And at this time, it's going to be Bafana. Bafana down the ground. He's in hot pursuit there. Bafana's looking back. It's going to be Joe Cello left with the backhand. Backhand played there by Donolo. First turn there now. Beg your pardon. That was Nati Chabalala playing the backhand. Zompi Tsotseti now. Can he get the 5th goal? It's been a runaway chucker for Celsi White. That will sound the end of chucker number 2. That goal unfortunately won't count. Right, the siren had sounded prior to the goal being scored, so what a cracking chucker there for Chelsea White, running out 3 quick goals and leaving them in a commanding position of 4-1 here at the end of chucker number 2.
There's a TV on us with the teacher. Where's my drink? What's that you were talking about?
Buy, spin, and win on the Selfie app or dial star 147 hash. Change your summer. Change your world with Selfie.
So I'm with a man who last year was actually hosting this event, but COVID-19 does some strange things, and here he is in a much smaller environment. I'm talking about the rather recognizable face of actor and presenter Lunka Shabalala. Can you believe it, in this mad world we are?
As I say, this is our new normal now, so we're adjusting to it, but Polo will always be Polo. The horses will always be the heroes, so we're still enjoying that.
Are you much of a polo fan? If I had to ask you for the intricate rules of polo, you'd go for
I
it?
can help you with the rules and the chuckers and the fouls and whatnot, the penalties. With regards to playing it, I've tried before. I can't even hit this thing when I'm standing still, so I can imagine how hard it must be for them to do it on moving horses.
To even sit on a horse and hit it, never mind a moving horse.
It is so difficult. I struggle with anything with the club, so cricket I suck at, golf, my goodness, 100 plus. So yeah, this is also very difficult.
But what I'm enjoying about this is that it gives this great opportunity for players to come through and make their mark.
Yeah, and the one thing that I've always appreciated about the Inanda Africa Cup is the fact that it's making the sport so accessible to the people who weren't able to do it. I remember in high school, I wanted to play polo, and my father would ask me with what horse. Now the Inanda Club has the opportunity to bring people from disadvantaged backgrounds to come through and learn the sports, and you can even see now the talent that they have on the field.
And I'm delighted that Cell C didn't sit back and say, well, in this pandemic, there is this global freeze on sponsorships. Let's not do it. They said, come on, we're doing this event.
And I think for a lot of athletes, whether it's any sports, that you just want to do what you love, and playing in front of a crowd or even just playing in an empty stadium, you're doing something that you're passionate about. And when you take that away from someone, it's just painful. It's painful for an athlete to have to sit home and just do fitness only or just study when you want to swing your club and hit a polo and ride a horse and so forth.
Well, talking about sitting around and not doing the things that you're passionate about, how has COVID affected you as an actor? We know you, well, we've known you for many years as a TV presenter, but now in the river, is that continuing despite COVID?
Yeah. I'd have to say that acting is so much more different now in the world of COVID in terms of regulations, how many people you can have on set, the intimacy in scenes. I don't know if people actually notice this, but there's no more kissing on TV because this is now a regulation that you can't have. You can't have any kissing scenes. Things are as simple as that. We find ourselves using so many of our crew as extras. So you'll have a guy who is a gaffer who does lighting, and then next scene he's putting on a mining outfit and he's a miner in the background just walking by. So yeah, everyone is playing their part, but it kind of makes everyone drive towards a similar goal and the same purpose. So it kind of brings us closer together.
Yeah, you never know. My cameraman might be my next guest.
Exactly.
You never know these things. But you have an enormous social media following, and what I love about this broadcast as well is we're not on traditional media.
Yeah.
We're on YouTube, and I think I watch YouTube more than I watch anything else, but I love the way that this pandemic has accelerated that. You with 350,000 followers on Insta, I don't know what your Twitter following is, but you have an enormous audience right there, don't you?
Yeah, you do, and I suppose you can kind of monetize on that as well. But what I've always said to people is that you can never fight technology. We talk about the fourth industrial revolution, so this is where we're going. So play your part, jump on board, see where you can monetize and be an ex-presenter in a YouTube channel of your own, who knows?
Yeah, my kids' ambitions are to be YouTubers.
Or a TikToker, as they say.
Oh, yes, that's the way to do it. Look, it's been a pleasure chatting to you.
Thank you so much, Vitosa.
Well done for keeping going despite lockdown. And the next time I see you on TV and you're in a love scene, I'll know the pandemic's over.
Thank you so much. I appreciate this.
Thanks so much. All the best to you. A man that they describe as an influencer. He's a TV presenter. He's an actor as well. That was Lunga Shabalala. I think it's time to go back for the third chucker. Let's go back to our commentator, Matt Pole.
Right, so 4-3. Chelsea White in a commanding position here as we move into chucker number 3. Umpires and players and ponies are ready, and it'll be the team of Chelsea playing in the orange colours that'll need to have a little bit of a comeback here in this, the third chucker, as they move down the ground there now. Skosana, he's made a good defensive play on the far side of the field there. In possession now on the boards is going to be Chelsea orange. Jabulani Magakula playing the number 1 position now. Coming around, it's going to be Zompi Tsotseti, but it's been stolen out from under his nose there beautifully by Joe Sello. Sello down the ground now. Here comes Joe. Joe riding quickly. He's been hard pressed there now beautifully by Zondo. Joe leaves the ball behind. Zompi takes it forward there now. Pushing hard on the ground comes Chabalala. Chabalala now working for the play. Big ride off there and through comes. Looks as if the umpires have spotted an infringement play. There is great play there by Donolo Letolo. Spotted a little gap in the play, picked up the line, and in doing so extracted a penalty. So here's a nice opportunity for Chelsea Orange, who at this point are trailing the game by 3 goals, 4-1 here in the opening exchanges of chucker number 3. Down the ground they come there. Donolo can't get back to it, picked up there by Bafana. Bafana takes a good clean defensive strike, next shot out towards the 30-yard mark. Backhand played there beautifully by Donolo. Intercepted again there now by Tokozani Zondo. Zondo now the 1-goal player down the ground, puts the ball up and over the boards and out of play. And an opportunity here for Chelsea Orange just to gather their thoughts. Minute gone here in this, the third and penultimate chucker. Score remains 4-1. And a chance here now for Donolo to bring the ball to play. Here goes Donolo. He's on a quick little pony. Down the ground he comes, 60-yard. Ball bounces, puts a good striking shot down the ground there. Malatsatsi finds himself in a good play. This is looking good, but it's just wide to the left-hand side. And a very unlucky shot at goal there. Just missing, running wide to the left-hand side. Possibly what Chelsea Orange would have looked for. And Chelsea White now with a chance to defend the goal mouth. Big shot off the back line there by Tokozani Zondo. Zondo puts a shot up the ground, picked up beautifully there now by Molatsatsi. He's taking the ball forward down the ground, pushing forward beautifully now. Here goes Molatsi. Molatsi now the shot towards the goals. He's carried the ball coast to coast. Next shot towards the goals. Wide. What a fantastic carry of the ball, pretty much coast to coast by the young number 1 for the Chelsea White team. And it'll be a chance here for Donolo. 2-goal handicap player bringing the ball off the background here now. Here comes Donolo. Score remains 4-1 here. Down the ground they come. Donolo opens up his shoulders, puts a good clean strike in it. It's found Zumpi. Zumpi now picks up the bouncing ball. Zumpi looks for the backhand. He can't get to the angle he's looking for. It's been beautifully intercepted here now by Chelsea Orange in the form of Joe Sello. Joe down the ground. Joe, hard-working Joe looking for the play. Big shot there now, picked up beautifully. Chelsea Orange. Joe finds himself in attacking position. Can he get the angle he's looking for? The ball pops under his pony. Next shot there, under the neck shot made by Nati Chabalala. Backhand play as Chelsea White scramble back into defense. Turning on the play there now, it's going to be the ever-present Nolo. Dolo with a shot towards the goals. Looks as if it's been put through the center, but the umpire's whistle did sound first, and I think Chelsea Orange may have an opportunity here to convert that into points. The umpires have awarded the goal, so what a fantastic outcome there for Chelsea Orange, scoring their second goal of the game here, taking the score to 4-2. Great play there by the Chelsea Orange team. Really quite a team effort there. All 4 of their players involved in converting that run into a goal, and fabulously finished off by none other than Jabulani Magakula. Right, so down the ground they go, and it's now a horse race down the ground. Chelsea Orange back in possession. Could this be a quick goal for them? Lovely shot here by Donolo. Donolo, the shot towards the goals. It's looking good from here. Donolo towards the post. Looks as if it's still in play. Turning on the play there now, Celsi Orange getting back to the play. Celsi Orange now intercepted there by Thokozani Zondo. Celsi Orange back towards the post, through for a goal! 2 goals in under a minute by Celsi Orange, and they are right back in this game, ladies and gentlemen. 4.5 minutes gone here in this, the third and penultimate chukker. And Celsi Orange have scored a goal. Let's just see if the umpires are confirmed. Looks as if the umpires are just confirming if the goal was awarded. Goal has been awarded, and we've just got a player receiving some medical attention who took a slight tumble there on the far side of the field. Looks as if it's going to be Joe Sello. Right, so the opposition team obviously a little bit concerned there, as it's not Joe Sello, it's Nati Chavalala, the number 2. So just receiving some medical attention from our ever-present medical team. What a fantastic run that the Celsi Orange team have had. 2 quick goals in less than a minute. Halfway through chukker number 3 here. Right, so in pictures Joe Sello, he had a cracking chukker. Really well mounted young player this man is. Hailing from the Free State. Right, so the umpires will just confirm that the injured player's, right, looks as if he's received a stick to his back. I think that's actually Donolo Letula. I think he may have had a bit of a ride in to the goalpost down the bottom line and showing his commitment to scoring the goal. And just receiving some attention from the medical staff. Right, so the rules of polo is that if a player can't continue, there would be a substitute would be nominated, and those substitutes would have been ready and rearing prior to the match. But I don't think that the injury is going to keep Donolo off his pony. He looks to be up and well, maybe a bit winded. Right, so let's have a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Donolo is up and ready. He's back. And definitely made of steel. They're making of steel down there in the Free State. Right, so Donolo's back on his... about to get back onto his pony. Umpires have confirmed that he's well enough to continue. So the clock has stopped about halfway through chukker number 3. Remind you, only 4 chukkers to be played here today in this Celsi Inanda Africa Cup 2020. Right, so getting onto one of his fresh steeds. Big smile on his face, which is good to see. Captain Donolo having brought his team back from 4 goals to 1 to within 1 goal of leveling with the opposition. Right, so Donolo's back on. Mounted back up. Right, so two captains sharing a moment there in this heated match. Right, so the goal was scored. Teams are back on the ground, 4-3 the score remains. Chelsea Orange having just come off a great run, scoring 2 quick goals. Right, so umpires are ready, balls back in play. Chucker number 3 still underway, halfway through it. 4.5 minutes gone, back and played there by Chelsea Orange, and again straight away out the back there now. It's going to be picked up by none other than Bafana Skosana. Bafana plays a shot forward. Who's left with the play there now? It's coming on. It's going to be Thokozani Zondo for Chelsea White. Thokozani Zondo with a lovely approach shot down, crunching right off down by the two players in the center of the goal mouth. Chelsea White looking good for a goal here. Chelsea White pushing down towards the goals. Looks as if it's gone wide. I think the umpires may have spotted infringement first. Looks as if the umpires may have spotted a penalty right in the goal mouth, and a chance here for Chelsea Orange to bring the ball into play. So they breathe a sigh of relief here as the time ticks down. 2 minutes left to play, and Chucker number 3, I beg your pardon. Right, so quickly taken off the back line there now beautifully by Joe Sello. Joe punches that ball up, and now Chelsea Orange find themselves in a good attacking position down the field. Pushing forward there on the ground there now comes Sello. Sello leaves the ball behind, turning on it now. It's going to be Zompi, and here's trouble. Zompi Totsetsi on his own on a quick pony down the ground. He's 80 yards mark. Zompi with a approach shot down towards the goals. He's been hard pressed there by Donolo. Donolo now finds the backhand. Zompi still got possession. Zompi, ball bounces badly. Zompi to the goal. Zompi Totsetsi making no mistake, putting his team back in the lead. 5-3. Zompi with a magnificent finishing off goal, and Chelsea Orange need to gather themselves when they come back to the centre. Great goal there by Zompi, found himself in a good position. Wonderful team play by the players up front, making sure that he found himself with the ball, and then it takes all the skill in the world to carry the ball from the halfway line down and through the posts. Out the back, who's got it? Chelsea Orange on a breakaway. Malazzi picked up again by Orange. They're now needing a goal quite urgently. Nati Chabalala working hard. Here's Nati. Looks at the umpires again, so things all a bit scrappy out there in the closing stages of this, the third and penultimate chucker. Right, so the umpires just keeping an eye on things. The umpire Rory Tort. Penalty has been awarded here in favour of Chelsea White. Running the long way up towards Johannesburg, and it's going to be the big hitting Thokozani Zondo. Zondo with a strike up the ground, looking up for Bafana. Bafana now, he's called off by Zumpi. Zumpi takes it forward now. Zumpi, here comes the Nolo near side backhand. He can't get it. Zumpi still working both sides of that pony. Zumpi now down the ground. Here's Zumpi. Zumpi got possession. Chelsea White still in possession here. 5-3 with about a minute left to play. Zumpi, he can't get the ball. Turning on it now. It's going to be Thokozani Zondo. Zondo takes it forward. He's left the ball behind. Zumpi comes forward. All a bit scrappy out there. Picked up now beautifully here by Chabalala. Chabalala working forward. Chabalala, he's over the top. Big shot there by Molazzi. Molazzi down to Chabalala for Chelsea Orange. Chelsea Orange on the near side. Looking for the defensive play. In comes Zumpi now. Zumpi takes the ball forward. Through comes Zumpi. Takes the backhand. He's been hard pressed there by Donolo. Donolo now. He's got possession. Takes a big shot down the ground. Pushing forward on the play there. Now comes Chelsea White. Here they come. It's a breakaway. Picked up by Bafana, but Bafana unable to get it. That will sound the end of chucker number 3, ladies and gentlemen. So running into chucker number 3. A couple of goals have been scored. And at the end, it's 5 goals to Chelsea White, 3 goals to Chelsea Orange.
On the Selfie app or dial star 147 hash. Change your summer, change your world with Selfie.
So next to me, I've got the Chief Commercial Officer of Selfie, Simo Mkhize is our guest. And Simo, in this heat, are you learning the rules of polo? Is that something new to you?
Yeah, polo is a relatively new sport to me, and I've enjoyed it so far today, and I think I'm becoming a polo fan.
I'm getting to understand this game, but I'm delighted that Chelsea has stayed with the Inanda Africa Cup. I'm aware during the pandemic that there was something of a freeze on sponsorships globally, not just here in South Africa. Why did you feel it was important to push through?
So I think for us, I think the lockdown has been a very difficult time for everyone in the country, and our customers included. So the opportunity for us to get involved in sponsorships where we can get our customers and get the general community out and to participate in outdoor events was an opportunity that we grabbed. So the sponsorship of the Polo Inanda Polo Club was always going to be something that we are going to consider if it was available.
Interesting sports that you sponsor, because here you are sponsoring polo. You also are synonymous with the Sharks, the Chelsea Sharks. I would suggest two different strategies.
Yeah, look, within the Chelsea family, we have various segments of customers. So we need to cater for the needs of all our customers. So polo is one of those sports that we've identified that there's a segment of our customers that resonate with the sport, and for us to participate, and especially in an event like this, where there's a developmental element, where there's an outreach to communities that previously didn't play the sport, and actually bring them in and develop them and get them to participate in the sport. That align very much with the brand and the values that we stand for as SLC.
And I'm sure that for you it is important, if you want to see your sponsorship grow, you want to see the sport grow, and by having an event such as this where a lot of the new up-and-coming players are given an opportunity, that surely fits in with your longer-term strategy.
Yeah, I mean, David, you mentioned the Sharks, and I think it's a very similar strategy we see there. There's a lot of developmental players that have come through that particular platform who have become national stars, and Chelsea has been behind that brand. And similarly here, and we want to see development coming from previously disadvantaged communities, becoming part of flagship top-line sporting events, and that is what our brand stands for. And that is why we're part of this event, and we enjoying to be part of this for the next foreseeable future.
I love the fact you say the foreseeable future, a long-term involvement. Simo, thank you very much. Enjoy the fourth chaka. Thanks for chatting.
Thank you, David.
Thank you very much. Simo Mkhize, who is the Chief Commercial Officer at Chelsea, the title sponsors for the Inanda Africa Cup. Time to go back to our commentator, Matt Pole. Let's join him for the fourth and final chaka.
Right, chukka number 4, the fourth and final chukka here, ladies and gentlemen, of this, the Chelsea Inanda Africa Cup 2020. And what a fabulous game we've had so far. Penalty has been awarded here in favor of Chelsea Orange, and it's going to be none other than Donolo Letolo to bring this ball into play. Here's Donolo. Donolo, oh, look at the lovely shot. He's given that ball down right towards the center of the goal mouth. Can he put it through? It looks like it's got the legs to carry from here. Chelsea Orange! Backhand's played right in the middle of time. Looks as if the umpires may have spotted infringement right on that. Let's just see what the umpires have picked up on that line. I think there may have been an infringement. Umpire Crispin Cheadle. Looks as if the penalty has been awarded here in favor of Chelsea Orange. So with their score sitting at 5-3, here's an opportunity for them to draw one back. And it'll be none other than that man, Nati Chabalala, puts the ball through the post. 5 goals to 4, and Chelsea Orange find themselves in a great position in the opening stages here of Chaka number 4. Right, so Nati Chavalala and Joe Selor having fabulous chuckers in the last 2, bringing their team right back in it. 5 goals to 4. Umpire Rory Taut now looks to put the ball down the centre. Ball into play it goes. Picked up now. It's a ruck and a ball in the middle there. Who's got possession out there? Looks like Chelsea White. Come away with it here. I think the umpire has picked up a penalty right from the outset. Right, so I think the umpire is just conferring. Penalty from the spot. And again, here's another chance for Denono to level the scores. Could this be the comeback of the comebacks? Right, 5 goals to 4. Right, Denono teeing the ball up, giving himself a good chance to put the ball right down into the centre. And Joe Selor making a run down the ground. So a bit of a team play here by Chelsea Orange. Right, here's Denono. Had a fabulous shot that got them the goal earlier. Here's Denono. Good clean shot there by Denono down the ground, looking up for one of his players in attacking position. Is going to be Malazzi. Malazzi now, can he finish it off? Malazzi down the ground. Defensive play there by Selor, but I think again, they've done it again. They've penalised themselves in the goal mouth. Chelsea White got a penalty. Looks as if this is going to be the levelling score, and a chance here now. Let's just see what the umpires have ruled. Oh, I beg your pardon. No, the penalty's gone against Chelsea Orange, so they breathe a big sigh of relief. Right, so now it's going to be Zompi Totsetsi. He's had a fairly quiet chucker by his standards. Big shot up the ground there now by Zompi, looking up for his attacking players. Tokozane Zondo, who's next? Playing the board forward goes Bafana. Bafana now can't get back to it. Here goes Bafana pushing forward now on the player. Here's Bafana. Lovely shot there. Zompi now picks it up. Zompi on a lovely bay pony. Halfway line, the 2 Bain players clash sticks. He's over the top. There goes the Nono. Zompi now for the Team White. Zompi down the ground, picks up the bouncing ball. Big ride off there by the Nono. He opens up the backhand. First turn on it on the great pony. It's going to be Malazzi. Malazzi on a breakaway now. Here goes Malazzi now. He's got the pony going quickly. Malazzi. Big shot down the ground. Can he get back to it? Malazzi keeps the ball going. Backhand played there, over the top there now, but it's picked up by Nati Chabalala. Chabalala pushing forward, up to Joe Sello. Joe Sello down the ground. Here goes Joe for the shot. Joe now, can he keep control of the ball? Picked up now comes. Looks as if the umpire's whistle has sounded yet again. And a chance here. Let's see what the umpires have ruled. Umpires just confirming. I did hear an umpire's whistle. Right, so the umpires have awarded a penalty here in favour of Chelsea Orange. 5 goals to 4. And it's going to be a penalty number 2. This is a very severe penalty. 30-yard undefended shot at goal. And this to level the match. 2 minutes gone here in this, the 4th and final chucker. Right, so looking to see who's going to be taking the penalty. Looks as if it's going to be this man, Joe Selor, circling around with the blue helmet on. Right, here's Joe. Just getting his pony nicely settled. Joe with a chance, penalty number 2, 30-yard, undefended, shot at goal. This to level the match. Joe with a good clean strike of the ball. He's put it high and wide and straight through the centre. Fabulous levelling goal here by Chelsea Orange. They certainly have had a fabulous chucker. And the players in white now just gathering their thoughts. 5 goals apiece. Still a lot of time left to play here in chucker number 4. Right, so teams change ends again here now. Zombi Toteti rallies his troops, gets them ready, gets them going. We have a level ball game here in the 4th and final chucker of this 2020 Africa Cup, hosted here at Inanda, proudly brought to you by SLC. Zombi out the back, doesn't get all on it. Right in behind him comes his number 2, Thokozani Zondo, but it's a breakaway here by Celsi Orange again. Orange find themselves in a good position down the ground. Here's a breakaway by Celsi Orange down the ground, on the near side now, over the top there, picked up there beautifully by Molatsi. Molatsi backhand played by Zumpi. Zumpi pushes the ball out towards Molatsi. Molatsi now working down, Thokozani Zondo coming in. Here goes Thokozani. Picked up now by Celsi White, and it's a breakaway down the ground there, beautifully by Zondo. Zondo now, Thokozani gets hooked, picked up now. Who's next in play? Looks as if he's down the ground. Here comes Zompi. Zompi down the ground. Zompi now. Looping in behind him now comes Thokozani Zondo. Zondo with a shot towards goal. 5 goals apiece it remains. Danger time here now. It's a breakaway here by Celsi Orange. Here's Donolo. Donolo's punched a massive shot down the ground. He's on a breakaway. Donolo down the ground. He's been hard pressed by all the players. Donolo's 80 yards out. Tappity tap. Ball pops up badly for him. Turning on it now. Comes the second wave. Coming through onto the play there now. It's going to be picked up by Senolo. Donolo still in possession for Celsi Orange. Furious passage of play here by both these teams. Coming forward there now, but the umpires again spotted an infringement down in the bottom corner of the field. I think penalty here has been awarded in favor of Celsi White. So what a great breakaway there by Donolo, giving himself the best chance. Umpires place the ball down. Right, so Zumpi's ready. Score remains 5 goals apiece. About 4.5 minutes left to play here in this, the 4th and final chukker of the Celsi Inanda Africa Cup 2020. Right, so here we go. It's going to be brought into play there by Thokozani Zondo, looking up for his player who's backing in. Lovely play there on the grey pony by Molatsi. Molatsi now. Celsi White find themselves defending again. Ball's stuck in the middle there. It looks all got a bit sticky. Who's got possession out the back there? Both these players. Breakaway here now by Celsi Orange. They've got a second breakaway. Big ride off as the players and ponies come down, looking for the backhand. Turning onto the 40-yard mark there now. It's going to be picked up by Bafana now, but the umpires I think may have spotted yet another infringement, and here we have a penalty. Yes, let's see what the umpires are doing. Looks like a penalty has been awarded here in favor of Celsi Orange. Here is a chance for Celsi Orange to go into the lead for the very first time here today, with only about 2.5 minutes left to play here in this, the 4th and final chukker. Right, so the umpires have placed the ball down. This is the penalty number 4, a 60-yard undefended shot at goal. The umpires have just put the ball down. And here comes Donolo to tee it up. Right, so 60-yard mark is where the ball's been placed. Right, so Donolo now circling back. Just getting a chance to tee up the ball. Right, so Donolo's had a fabulous run at hitting these balls. He's got a chance here to put his team into the lead. Here's Donolo. Right, Donoro, good clean strike at that ball. He's put it high and wide off a player onto the... Oh, it's off the pocket, is it in? It's a scramble down the bottom of the goal mouth. Looks like it's still in play. Picked up now by Celsi White. Celsi White now on a breakaway, but they don't seem to get the angle they're looking for. Backhand towards the goals. Oh, can't quite see what the umpires have seen there. Looks as if the umpires may have spotted an infringement. Right, so it looks like a penalty has been awarded right in the goal mouth to the Celsi White side, and a chance now for that man Thokozani Zondo to bring the ball in. Zompi Tsotsetti's up front looking for a runner. Here's Zompi. Zompi now on a quick pony, strikes it beautifully. He's got a lovely eye for the ball. Zompi now been hard pressed there by Dono. Zompi's over the top. Back through now comes Skosana. I beg your pardon. That's going to be Thokozani Zondo. Through now comes Zompi. Zompi. Zondo. Zondo now. He can't get back to it. Through now comes Shabalala. Beg your pardon. That's Molatsi now down the ground. Here goes Molatsi down. Molatsi pushing forward. Backhand played there. Scramble by Celsi White. Now looking for the play. It's a chance here for Celsi White down the ground. Molatsi. The pony kicks it. The pony puts it through. Fabulous goal there by Molatsi. And Celsi White here with 1.5 minutes left to play, go into the lead. A little bit of help with the pony, but that's what they're trained for. And they'll take it. It all adds up to one score. Right, so umpires and players and ponies back in the center. Can the Oranges come back? 1 minute left to play here, and this is the fourth and final chucker. Umpire Cheadle puts the ball in. Now it's a breakaway. Picked up now by the Oranges. Pushing forward there now on the play was going to be Jabulani. Jabulani now, he can't get back to it. Backhand played beautifully by Joe Sello. Joe comes through. Coming on it now, it's going to be the Oranges. Oranges pick up a play down here. Here go the Oranges, breakaway now for Donolo. Donolo with a good clean shot. Can he pick it up? Donolo, he's over the top. Comes Joe. Joe Sello, the shot towards the goals. Can Joe level it up from here? Joe now towards the post. Over the back line and wide. Fabulous chance there by Joe Sello. But unfortunately, the angle is just not on. And a chance now for the Chelsea White boys to bring this ball into play. Here's... Oh, it's been intercepted. It's been intercepted by Donolo. What does the umpires say? Looks as if the umpires have spotted a penalty. Right, penalty 5B, I think it has. The umpires are taking it forward. Not a lot of time, about 30 seconds left to play here. And a penalty has been awarded here in favor of Chelsea White. In the lead by 6 goals to 5. Right, penalty 5B, that's a penalty from the spot to be brought in by Zompi. Right, here's Zompi Tsotsetse. Not a lot of time left. Right, tees up the ball. Zompi's going to have a dip here. Right, so Zompi's not going to take it. It's going to be Togozani Zondo. Zondo with a good clean strike, that ball up towards Zumpi. Zumpi finds himself in a great attacking position now. Chelsea Orange come in for the defensive play. They can't get through. Here's Zumpi down the ground. Zumpi pushing hard. There's a 30-second sign. Not a lot of time left. Backhand played there by the Oranges. That will put it through. That will sound the end of the match, ladies and gentlemen. There we have it. Chelsea Orange running out winners by 6 goals to 5 here in the 2020 Inanda Africa Cup, proudly brought to you by Chelsea. What a fabulous game we've just watched. Chelsea Orange coming back masterfully in chukker number 3, unable to finish it off in chukker number 4, and great consistency held there by Chelsea White. Zompi Tsotsetse and his team really coming to the fore, finishing it off, and what a fabulous match we've held here at the Chelsea Inanda Africa Cup 2020.
On the Selfie app or dial star 147 hash. Change your summer, change your world with Chelsea.
Right, there's a little round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for the Chelsea White side, running out winners by 6 goals to 5, and just showing the appreciation to the crowd that have come out here today. Right, so ladies and gentlemen, what we have up is a tradition here at the Africa Chelsea Cup. We'll have a race between machine and horse. And this year the horse versus machine is quite an exciting race. We'll be having Craig James driving the vehicle. Right, so Craig James there in the car looking very dapper. What is a tradition at the Chelsea Inanda Africa Cup is the horse versus machine race, which has seen many high-end powered vehicles matched against the horse. This year we feature an AC Cobra. There you'll just see it drive past. Craig James looking very dapper in the driver's seat. The classic AC Cobra belongs to Dr. Duarte de Silva from the Inanda Club, and will be driven by Craig James, and will be raced against Zompi Tsotsetse on a horse called Bling, owned by City Polo. with a 1 horsepower versus an 8-cylinder 5.8 litre Corvette engine pushing out 500 horsepower, which is 350 kilowatts. What is different with this vehicle this year is that there is no traction control, no power steering, ABS brakes, automatic stability control, or any of the technology we find in today's high-powered vehicles. Just raw power. This vehicle is designed for drag racing. Today, that turns out into a horse race. Ladies and gentlemen, let the show begin. We'll just wait for Zumpi to mount onto his fresh steed called Bling. And we'll be doing the traditional Cell C Africa Cup horse versus machine race. Craig James did a quick flyby in that magnificent Cobra. And Zompi will be getting on to Bling to give us a little bit of entertainment here at the end of the Cell C Cup. Right, so Craig is just getting ready for yeah, so Craig James back in the car, Zumpi's on his horse, and we'll be getting ready for the man versus machine race. Right, so Bling, a young 6-year-old bear owned by City Polo, ridden by one of the best jockeys here at Inanda. And Zombi Tsotsetse just having won the Cell C International 2020. There's the Cobra being revved, you can hear it in the background.
So they say always. Look, it's style.
Right, so the race will take part in 2 legs. There'll be an initial race across to the end of the polo field, which is around about 320 meters long, and then there'll be a second run down towards the clubhouse.
He plays some weeks. What is this thing doing there?
A little bit cooler here at the moment as the clouds seem to have come over. Will certainly give Zumpi a bit of an advantage.
I've got Tapela Mokoena with me and a fabulous glass of wine as well, which I believe is all part of a YouTube channel that you're doing. Is that right? Amongst the many things you do.
Absolutely. Yeah, you know, I have a wine channel on YouTube. I'm new into the wine space. I'm a new wine owner, and it's a beautiful part of everyday life, and how fitting, right?
And are you into polo as well?
A bit. I think I'm more than just a guest these days. You know, I actually care about the match. We've just watched a bit of it. Phenomenal.
Okay.
I might add, and yeah, it's all about culture, right? And consuming culture.
We're going to watch a horse against a car. Let's just watch this. I want to
Yes, I
carry
know, I
on
can't
chatting
wait
to you. Let's go back to Matt Pole quickly for horse versus machine.
Right, so here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are now ready for the horse versus machine. It's now Craig James versus Zompi Tsotsetsi. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and away they go. Craig James drops a hammer in that Cobra, but Zompi's got the open up. Craig James is going to have to pay some divot. Finds here Zompi. Blink's dropped the hammer. Look at Blink. Down the ground. He's fully pushed there. Blink takes away down the ground. Craig James getting a bit of spin there. No traction control. Right, so Zompi Tsotsetsi racing the Cobra V8. Just unable to take it forward. The 1 horsepower versus 500 horsepower. And we'll have a second run, right, as they're ready for it. Down the ground they go. Craig this time seems to have got a bit of traction control. Here goes Zompi. Zompi's pushing hard, Blinks down the ground. Zompi takes it forward, over the line. Right, so over the first half it was going to be Bling, certainly took away with it. And over the third it was going to be Bling.
Polo Mokoena with me, who was busy filming that. You see, you're fully into the social media. You know how to. You're going to post that now on Insta or something?
Well, here's the thing. We live in a beautiful digital era, right? We have more means of communication than we had, 10, 20 years ago?
Exactly.
You know, we're not in the analog time. We live in quick, fast, quick share, quick information time. So look out on my Instagram.
I love that because you were so fast in getting it around.
Yeah.
Then you did an interview with me, then back again. Now, come on, this is the way to do it.
But you're the master, O'Sullivan. I'm learning from the best.
I need a producer talking in my ear, you see. But I love the fact that you're doing this and you're using social media to your advantage because we need to do this. The traditional forms of media are breaking down. Did you find that in the pandemic, as entertainers such as yourself, we're looking to, I wouldn't say reinvent yourself, but look for new channels. Do you think that the use of social media has now exploded, has become different?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think it's slapped us straight into accepting that the world is going digital. To be frank with you, I launched my wine channel on level 5 of lockdown. We're always meant to launch the YouTube wine channel for my wine, but it became so much clearer when the country went on national lockdown that there had to be a way bigger than being physically present at all times. So what I did is I took all my equipment, I turned my garage into a home studio. So since lockdown, I've had a home studio where I've produced 2 online channels.
Because you're also doing the Artist Corner.
The Artist Corner is one of them, yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the Artist Corner. What are you trying to achieve there?
Simply put, it's the journey of an African black male artist in a tough film and TV industry, really doing well, and me sharing my experiences with the frustrated artist, or whoever wants to know, because I'm seeing what I believe is invaluable, and I'm finding ways to channel it back down, because I'm never going to meet everyone personally. Exactly. That's why that was created.
Well, it seems to me you're giving youngsters the do's and don'ts, how to actually go about doing it.
According to me.
I think it's invaluable advice that you're getting there.
Thank you.
I think it's also admirable that you've been doing this because you were so busy just before lockdown and had so much that was coming up in 2020.
Yes.
When everything got put on hold, all the productions that you were going to do, you could really have coiled up into a ball.
Absolutely.
But you just finished shooting a series for British television, Bulletproof. Tell me about that.
That's a Sky TV show. God is so good because we managed to finish the entire story 2 weeks before the country went on lockdown. Nobody knew it was going to happen. The British actors had some sort of, information about a flu that was oncoming, so they needed to get back home. So that project is in the can, as they say, and it's about a release. And I'm grateful that happened. But 2, 3, 4 other projects were put on hold because of the COVID. And now I'm getting back to picking it all up again, so I couldn't be happier.
Well, that's important that they were just put on hold. Nothing was cancelled.
I'm very blessed for that.
But Bulletproof, that's on Sky, a big budget thing.
Yes.
That is surely going to catapult your name in British circles.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's going to do major things for my acting brand, but mainly also for my personal brand, I think. I've got great news with my wine also entering the UK market, but I'm not going to say much now. But in terms of myself as an artist, I couldn't be happier. I've got a relationship with Sky TV purely off of this show, and it's a great 4 episodes. It's a limited series, and I cannot wait.
That's the way it works
For us to
on
see it.
British television, doesn't
Yeah.
it? It's not 22 episodes. It'll be 4 to
Gone are
6
those days.
episodes is a season.
That's it.
So
That's
is,
it. Also, concentration span. You know what I mean, Mr. O'Sullivan? Like, you can imagine. You know, we used to sit at home and wait for the next Monday to catch your favorite episode. Now we're all about binge watching.
Oh, I'm completely about binge watching.
Exactly. That's my life now. You know, I'll save my Saturday morning to binge because of the digital era that we're in. Quick information, quick consumption. And we either adapt or get stuck in our ways.
I don't know where you find time for all of this, because one of the things I saw an interview with you recently where you were talking about teaching. You were talking about your restaurant that had to be mothballed.
Yes.
And I see that you're doing Bulletproof. I see these other projects. I'm thinking COVID couldn't have come at a better time for you because it gave you room to breathe. How do you manage to run a restaurant, which surely is a 24-hour-a-day job, and teach and run YouTube and act? Do you not sleep?
I have absolutely no idea. I try to prioritize rest. I'm young. My grandfather always said, God bless him, while you can still run, you run.
Yeah.
While you still walk, you walk. When you have to crawl, you better be the best crawler there is. And for me, I'm 38 years old. I just turned 38 on Wednesday. And I'm all about seizing the moment. I'm all about really infusing my passion and my love into everything I do. I don't do anything I don't love.
Yeah.
You know, and how the business works itself out is I stay fit. I run and I cycle. The endorphins, I'm an early riser. My grandfather, I grew up on a farm.
Okay, that helps.
I'm a ladysmith boy, and all we ever knew was rising early and making the day count. So I believe in working hard while I have the energy. It's all going to make sense soon, I hope.
It doesn't strike. It's 38. I can understand it if I look at you from there up, but from there down.
It's quite 94.
and then a young man comes over and says, I'm Polo's son. I go, you're too old to be his son, dude. You're an imposter. So these productions that have gone into, that were mothballed, are these overseas productions or local productions? Give us a sense of where you're going to be.
It's all international work.
Oh, wow.
God is really good. Trackers was great. Trackers is an international project that's gone. Dion Mayer's
that's
writing.
Right.
He's phenomenal.
That was amazing, of course.
Thank you. It's gone over 19 countries.
But it was good that budget was thrown at
Absolutely.
this. And it's important that we see big budget productions
Absolutely.
coming out of South Africa.
Oh yeah. And I think we've got the talent. And here's a production like Trackers that infused the best of black talent in acting and film and TV, the best of Afrikaans acting, film and TV, the best of English, the best of every other race we have in this country, but didn't seem like a quota project and came out beautifully. HBO is part of it, you know, excuse me, and it goes on. France, Germany, New Zealand, the same goes for all my other productions. I think 19 years into the game, as a male lead actor, your career actually begins at 35. That was all warm-up.
Yeah.
The average leading male or man role is between the ages of 35 and possibly 60. So I'm in a position where I've gone to the gym and now I must begin to work.
Yeah, exactly.
I haven't begun. You know, so the beauty is I'm already exposed. I've got a big international show coming out, Bulletproof. I'm about to move into an island in a month with my family for 4 months to shoot the next big international drama series. I can't say anything, but I'm really grateful and blessed.
Go on.
And I got this during lockdown.
Now that's
Self-tape
insane.
audition in my garage.
You see, somebody who's actually been able to achieve during lockdown, but you make your own luck as well. I mean, I know you give credit to the higher powers in your world.
I do.
But if you don't actually seek out those opportunities, they don't come your way.
I suppose preparation plays a big part.
But what I think I also find important about what you're doing is we want young South Africans, young black South Africans, to be able to look at the TV screen and see somebody who not only looks like them, but who sounds like them.
Yes, sir.
And says, he can do it, I can do it.
Sir.
It's not Denzel,
Yes,
you know, it's not Eddie Murphy.
Yes,
it's
sir.
people who come from South Africa, so they can look at Trevor Noah and go, I can do it. They can look at Sapela Mokoena and they can know that. So that responsibility is on you.
Relatability and identifying with self.
Yeah.
You know, the worst thing that we've been fed, which is somehow the same thing that fueled our dreams, is Western content. Here we are now consuming ourselves. consuming Afrikaans films, consuming our own local films and TV. So I couldn't agree more.
I look forward to all your wonderful achievements, Polo. Thank you so much. You've been so fabulously entertaining. And I'll have a look at your wine channel. What is it called?
Nero TV. My wine is called Nero, which means black. It's a black grape from Sicily. And yeah, I'll drop you a bottle. Salute to everybody. Much love and respect.
Okay. Lovely.
Good man.
All the best to you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks
sir.
so much, Polo. The fabulous Polo Mokoena there. One of the many pretty people who are here gathered at the Celsi Africa Inanda Cup. Let's get Craig James, who's the polo manager here at Inanda Club. He was driving the car. I kind of felt in that car versus machine that you were just a little light on the pedal, and then you got heavy on the pedal. Or were you going flat out?
You know, there's so much horsepower there, and can you believe it? The one horse beat all that horsepower. There's just too much power, and there's no traction control. So every time I try to get going, my wheels were spinning.
So that's the excuse. But that horse was phenomenal.
What an incredible horse. So her name is Bling, owned by Zumpi and Craig here at Seri Polo, and she is just such a speedy mare. She actually played in the first chukka of the match today, and she went beautifully.
And coming back, when you did the second run, I'm going to say she was tired.
She was tired, and I probably jumped the gun a little bit. So the horse won.
You cheated, is what you're saying.
You know. So
okay.
The horse won the day.
What normally happens in horse versus machine at this event?
Well, we've had different machines race against the horse, and depending on the vehicle and what kind of traction control you have, will give you a different outcome. When you've got traction control, it's a much more even match. But in a case like today, the horse is always going to win.
Let's talk about the polo that we had. Are you satisfied with the performance of these youngsters? Did they rise to the occasion?
Absolutely. I think an amazing result. We are so proud of them. To have the match in 6-5 at the end, very closely fought. It could have gone either way. And I think a fantastic testament to the talent that's in South Africa, you know, and this is what we want to showcase.
I don't know if you've had a chance to talk to the players. What were they saying about the conditions out there?
I've had very little time to chat to them, unfortunately, but they said it was quite tough. You know, the heat did actually play a factor today. When the wind was blowing and not knocking over our goalposts, they said it was fine. But they said it was a great match, and they felt that the umpires and referees controlled it really well, fairly blown both ways. Both teams saw fouls go their way. And you know, at the end of the day, it's the luck of the draw. Polo is very much won if it's your day to shine.
I love being at Inanda. I love the fact that I've got Anglo-Americans headquarters to my left. I've got the biggest, tallest building in Africa to my right. And right here, we have this wonderful patch of green, this environmental hub, this green lung, and all this horsey activity. Yes. At the moment, what is happening in terms of the horses at Inanda? Because you have managed to go through the worst of the lockdown, haven't you?
I always talk of Inanda as a green oasis in Sandton. Often forgotten and often unknown to people out there. You know, right through lockdown, when we first went into the first level and no one knew what was going to happen, I locked down here with 90 horses and about 25 grooms. And it was really a tricky period for us because we weren't sure how we were going to stay alive, and would the essential services get to us? Would we be able to feed our horses? So I actually locked down here at the club for 2.5 months without my family, which was unfortunately...
You stayed here at the club?
Yeah, I stayed
Look,
here.
I can think of worse places.
Yeah, so I mean, fortunately you have this, as you say, such a beautiful gem. But it was quite tough. But the players all came through beautifully. They looked after the horses amazingly, and you know, we've got to the point where today we had an opportunity to showcase some of those skills. Very, very happy.
If there's a youngster who's been watching this on this YouTube channel and feels they would like to get involved, how do they go about it? Do you have, I don't know, beginners courses, introductory courses, or do I have to come to you and say, I've got 5 ponies, let me come here?
Not at all. Dave, here at Inanda we've got a polo school. You can find us under Seri Polo at Facebook. We're on the Inanda page, homepage on the web, and it's open from all ages. We've got little guys that are 3 years old in the pony club that are learning to sit on a horse and find their balance. The key with this sport, as with most other sports out there, is the earlier you start, the better your future will be. So it's much open. We've got a small little membership, so you would join as a member, and you know, there's a very natural progression. Once you get started, it becomes a family sport and it becomes a lifestyle, and that's really what Inanda is. You become part of its lifestyle.
I was telling you off air that my son, who's autistic, would come here and come for therapy. Will you do that in the future? And we're about to go to prize game, but quickly answer that for me.
We're absolutely considering it. It's something very close to our heart, and we're hoping by next year we'll be able to open our doors to a whole lot of classes, and very keen to do the therapy riding.
Okay, next year get a faster car, but I was happy the horse won. Craig, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. We're going to go to the prize giving. Thank you so much for coming and joining us.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much to Craig James, who is the polo manager here at the Inanda Club. We're going to take a very short break and then over to Matt Pole. He's got the prize winners.
On the Selfie app or dial star 147 hash. Change your summer, change your world with Selfie.
Ladies and gentlemen, the culmination of a fantastic day's polo here at Selfie Inanda, the 2020 Africa Cup. The team who are the runners-up today of this magnificent event here is on stage with us right now here. Jabulani, Nati, Joe and Donolo. We'd like to have a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for this side that were runners-up. They came back in the second and third chukka really strongly, and sadly they went down by a goal right in the end. And let's have a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for Selfie Orange here, who are runners-up this year. We'd like to have a quick word by Donolo, who'd like to just say a couple of words.
I'd like to say hello to everyone. And I'd like to say thank you very much to Africa Cup and Inanda Selfie. Thank you very much for the sponsor. And thank you very much to my teammate. Well done, guys. Well played. We did very well, but we lost. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you.
Well done. Thank you, Donald. You guys can take your prizes here. Ladies and gentlemen, these were the runners-up for the Selfie 2020 Africa Cup. Right, thank you. We're now going to move on to the most valuable player. The most valuable player this year at the Selfie Cup was none other than Zompi Tsotsetsi. So if we can get Zompi Tsotsetsi up onto the stage, please, ladies and gentlemen. A really prestigious award here for Zompi. Just a bit of validation for all the hard work that he does. And let's have a round of applause for most valuable player here, Zompi Tsotsetsi.
Hello, everyone. Thanks. I'd like to thank the Selfie and Inanda Polo Club, and also Craig and everyone who come to support today. Thank you very much. And it wasn't easy, but with a team, we made it. Thank you.
Righto, thank you very much, Zumpi. Ladies and gentlemen, then a really prestigious award here. The best playing pony, asset owned by Denono. We'll step aside here whilst they bring the pony through. Here is asset owned by Denono and played by Denono as the 2020 most valuable player. We've kept her aside here, ladies and gentlemen, for us all just to keep an eye on asset. And right behind the Selfie logo, most valuable player and pony, beg your pardon, this year, best playing pony, won by Denono, a magnificent pony. And there she is, ladies and gentlemen, a very prestigious award for any polo player to receive. And what an absolute privilege for Denono to receive this magnificent award here. Right, there's Denono putting the blanket on the best playing pony for the year. Right, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a round of applause for Asset and Denono, the most valuable. there. What a lovely award it is to win, and something that you can be very, very proud of. Right, moving on towards the main prize giving of the afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, the winners this year of the 2020 Cell C Africa Cup. If we can have Cell C White up on stage, please. The team who were the victorious team, if we can have Cell C up on stage. Motlatsi, Togozane, Bafana, and Zompi. Right, ladies and gentlemen, that time has arrived. I think what a wonderful spectacle, Polo, we've been showed to you today. A very big thank you again to our sponsor, Cell C, as well as to the Inanda Club for hosting the Africa Cup under difficult circumstances. Here you are, ladies and gentlemen, the winners of the 2020 Cell C All Africa Cup. Cell C White, let's have a round of applause for Zumpi and his team. Here they are, ladies and gentlemen, Cell C White, Bulatati, Togozane, Bafana, and Zompi Totsetsi. Let's have a round of applause. Like to have a few words by Zompi Totsetsi, the captain.
Okay, thank you very much. I would like to thank the Inanda Polo Club and the Cell C as a sponsor. Thank you very much. And my teammate also, guys. I know it was not easy, it was very difficult, but as a team, play as a team, we made it, and the horses went very well. And also, I'd like to thank Craig James, who's always behind me and helping us with our polo career. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Then Hazel, who's the executive chairman of marketing from Cell C, would like to just come and say a couple of words whilst the team is here. Hazel, if we can have you up.
Good afternoon, folks. Very well done to our winning team, but I think, the contenders also gave them quite a run for their money. So well done, gentlemen. It was an amazing experience this afternoon. And to all of you who came out this afternoon, we're really grateful for the fact that you've come out of your lockdown busy schedules to be here with us this afternoon and experience our brand, Cell C. And to those of you who were streaming from home, thank you for joining us this afternoon as well. And hopefully we'll all be here again next year under slightly different circumstances. But thank you, and well done to our winning team.
Thank you, Hazel. And again, ladies and gentlemen, as per tradition here in Polo, right around the world, we'd like to offer thanks to everybody, including the grooms, the groundsmen, the staff. Ladies and gentlemen, we offer, most importantly, 3 cheers to the ponies. Hip hip. Hip hip. Hip hip. Ladies and gentlemen, we look forward to seeing you all here next year again. Drive safe and enjoy the rest of this lovely afternoon. And that concludes today's presentation. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
On the Selfie app or dial star 147 hash. Change your summer, change your world with Cell C.
Well, what an exciting day it was. And 11 goals scored, 6-5 to the team in white, the Cell C white against Cell C orange, and a wonderful opportunity to see the youngsters of Polo, the future stars, parading their stuff, strutting their stuff for this rather small, COVID-friendly crowd here at Inanda Club. A wonderful day and a lot cooler than when we started, the perfect way to end. I hope you've enjoyed this broadcast of the Cell C Indaba Africa Cup from me, David O'Sullivan. Until the next time, bye-bye.